Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Sam Kwak, one of the Kwak Brothers, and welcome to our last two episodes or last 2 days of the 21 Days of Mental Detox Challenge. Now, we're finally at day 20, which day 21 makes it the final day of this series. And for those who are brand new, you guys have never seen our channel, never seen any of our video series, as far as the 21 Days of Mental Detox Challenge. The reason why I decided to launch this series many weeks ago was because there's a lot of division and negativity right now in social media. There's a lot of negativity, period, right? If you flip open your TV, you go to your favorite news channel or whatever channel that you like to listen to or watch, there's never a moment where we can go by an hour where there's some sort of negative news, someone dies, someone, getting killed, politics. And with this constant stream of negativity and distractions, it just cannot be good for productivity, right? It just can't be good for our subconscious mind. So as a way to combat some of those negativity and things that we're seeing on media and social media, I've decided to start a series to sort of detox everyone's brain watching this to replace all the negative information with positive, uplifting, inspirational, motivational content to help you guys live a more positive and more productive life. So I'm glad that you're tuned in. I'm glad you're joining us here, whether you're watching live or you're watching the recording. Today's the last two topic, and I'm kind of doing it on Audible here. I had another thing scheduled for day 20, but something called out to share this with you guys. How many of you guys feel worried right now? Anybody worried? I'm sure a lot of you guys are. We're all worried at something. But lately, I've been learning a lesson, and this is just my heart. Lately I've been learning a lesson of not to worry, and I'm going to use the Bible as a reference. And I know some of you guys are not a fan of the Bible, but I must say I am. But I'm gonna take something out of the Bible where it's powerful when applied, even if you guys don't even follow the Bible. But in the Bible, it's fascinating. It's a little fun fact. In the Bible, it mentions the word do not worry or fear not. Excuse me. The words do not worry appear in the Bible 365 times, right? And what's fascinating about that is there's 365 days in a year. So it's almost like a rare coincidence that there's that phrase, do not worry, that's mentioned 365 times for every day of the year, right? So in the Bible, it tells us to not worry. And Jesus Christ says in his teaching, he says that he's talking to his disciple. He's asking them, hey, by worrying, are you going to add a single day to your life? Can you add a single hour to your life by worrying? And if you really think about it, you really can't. Right? You can't. There's life has its way sometimes, and by worrying, we're placing our trust and confidence in the worldly things. For me, in my philosophy, my Christian belief and philosophy, I believe ultimately to worry is to sin, because worrying means that I'm not relying on God's protection. I'm not relying on God's wisdom and God's providence. Now, I know a lot of you guys may not believe in God, or may not even have a Christian faith, but let's even discover this in the secular meaning. If you worry, right, it creates stress, right? When you have stress, it creates cortisol, and cortisol tends to have negative effects if sustained for a long period of time. Cortisol is great initially when you're reacting to a danger. It raises our blood pressure. It gives us that instant, temporary biological fuel that we need to escape, right, whatever dangerous situation we're in. But prolonging that stress by worrying and constantly worrying, the cortisol have some really damaging effects to your body. It's known to release insulin, which, obviously you gain weight. It's known to create weaken the immune system. It's also a prolonged period of cortisol presence in our body also contributes to cancers, also contributes to anxiety, contributes to depression. So cortisol is not good, right? If we're dealing with cortisol for a very long time. So by worrying, by having fear, by living in fear, you're letting cortisol drip into your life and slowly but surely killing you, right? So do not worry, right? So not worrying is a good thing, right? I know some of you guys are saying, well, you need some level of worry, which in some degree I may agree, but because of my Christian background, my faith, I know that by worrying, I'm kind of going against the fact that God is protecting me, right? God has everything planned and mapped out, has great plans for me. And I also believe this for you guys too, right? Even if you don't believe in God, I really do believe that at the end of the day, God has great plans for you, right? And the commonly but yet misquoted Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11, right? For I have plans to, not to harm you, but to prosper you. And I truly believe for those who are watching this, I wish upon blessings on you guys, and I wish upon great plans ahead of you. And I think worrying isn't necessarily going to help us achieve any sort of level of productivity, right? Maybe motivation is a different level, right? To be motivated is a different thing than to worry. To motivate yourself and that in a way that is leading to a productivity, leading to an area where you can take what you have as far as your emotion, reframing it and turn into motivation, I think is more healthy than just worrying about it and, saying, well, no, like the world is falling upon me, right? I think it's better that we channel that energy, channel that emotion that we have and turn it into motivation instead of worry, fear, depression, and anxiety. So I'm going to keep this one rather short, and I did a little audible, like I mentioned earlier. I had something else in plan, but I think this is even more powerful because I think we live in a society where we're just packed and compressed with fear, anxiety, and worrying, and this just cannot be good for any of us. It just can't be, right? Back in the day, a long time ago, when we didn't have TV, radio, or even social media or internet, we sort of lived in an isolated world, right? We heard about bad news when it was really bad. But I think now everything seems like a bad news, right? Every little thing, like someone dies, whatever politics happen, right? Every day we're getting bad news like clockwork. And it's not good for us. And this is one of the reasons why I'm asking you guys to detox yourself out of negativity, which ultimately is going to create gratitude. Now, remember I talked about how to combat fear? In order to combat fear, you got to replace fear with gratitude, right? Find things that you're grateful for because gratitude and fear just cannot exist in the same place. So find 5 things that you're thankful for every single day and write them down to combat against fear. And again, just like Jesus said, do not worry. Don't be afraid. There's a reason why it was mentioned in the Bible 365 times for every day of the year is because that is, I mean, really, it's for us. It's our own benefit not to worry. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep this short. I'm going to keep this episode short. Tomorrow, we're going to have a final day, day 21. Very exciting. We're going to put the cherry on top and celebrate the conclusion and the end of this series. I thank you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you being on board if you're live. And be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel for any future videos that we have to release. Thank you so much, guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Have a good night.